Lovely morning. Time to move foxes. Hello and welcome to the realm of Midgard. I'm Ch2 and this is episode 14, chapter 2 from our realm. I'm standing over here, Foxwood, looking down at our freshly made axolotl pond we did last episode. And as you can probably see, I've been lazy and planted some dark oak trees to sort of start filling in this area. Doesn't mean I'm not going to keep doing custom trees. It just means that I can start getting this place looking a bit more, natural while I sort of build up the courage to build some more trees. But I think they come up quite nicely in this area sort of thing, especially when they're sort of blended in with a few of the other sort of custom trees that we've done, I'm not too upset with it. But if we fly on down here, you can see that I still have not yet added in the axolotl research house here, or storage house for all their food. We've still got it all pretty much in this shulker box. And well, why don't we start off this episode by seeing if we can get lucky. Come on. Let's go you and you. What was that one? Another little brown one there. Alright, you guys head on back in and enjoy the pond. Because today, we will be spending a fair bit of it working with redstone. Now, as you may remember from last episode, I said that we wanted to build ourselves a fungus or mycelium farm, as well as a moss farm. And we've sort of set up all the area over here down in our cave to get all that built up. And well, I've been a little bit busy. So let me cut away down to there now and I'll show you what I've done. Alright, so now that we're jumped down the hole from our sort of cave up there, we've walked down into this cave entrance that we found last episode, and I have been busy. Now, I still want to keep over here as my storage, but I have now cleared out the space that we're going to need to build our warped fungus farm over here, and our moss farm. It's a big one. So, I've built up the spaces here for them, and I've sort of roughly planned out how the storage system will go, but we'll sort of work our way through that when we get up to that point. And over on this wall here, I am still thinking that we'll use those two tall flowers, the purple and the red one. Probably just sit them up there and just keep getting them bone milled so we can keep getting a stash of those ready. So, now that I've cleared out the area, let's actually show off the farm which we're going to be building. Now, it is, both of these ones are a Silent Whisper design, which I will just highly recommend you guys checking out. The videos will be tagged in the description. But let's head over to the creative test world and check out these farms. Alright, see you over there. Alright, now that we're over here in the Midgard testing world, let's have a look at our two farms. Now, the first one we're probably going to build because it's not that it's easier, it's just smaller. And that is the warped fungus farm. Now, Silent had made this as part of his advent calendar for December last year, and this thing still works like a treat. So if I just make sure that I do have bone meal still in here, I do. So if we come over and just turn it on, you'll see that the ground is getting pushed side to side. That dispenser down there that I was checking shoots up bone meal through the ground, which is bone milling all this area, as you can see. Then we've got it set up so that after a certain pulse coming from our little hopper clock down here, the water gets dispensed, flushing the system through, and then triggers off again and everything goes off again. And as you can see, I've run this few tests. It works really well. We mainly want it for these guys, our warped fungus, and the rest of it's probably going to get turned into bone meal to help keep feeding this machine itself. So this one's fairly straightforward. So we've got a shifting floor dispenser shooting off bone meal into it from underneath, and then our dispensers shooting off water to flush the system out, and then kick it all back in again. So yeah, I think this is the one we're going to start off with and get that built up in that smaller area. Now, if we come over here and look at what looks confusing, it really isn't. It just it just looks it. So what we've got here is a stone generator on the top and a stone generator on the bottom. These are getting pushed up and then coming in to be our floor for our moss machine. And that thing is just flipped and put over here. We have pistons up at the top here, which are breaking any of the azaleas and all the tall grass, that sort of stuff, and the carpets that grow on. We've got a minecart storage sort of unloader thingy here. And underneath is hidden away our whole... It's actually better to get... No, come on, get around. Yep, here. And so underneath here we have the source block of moss that we keep bone mealing, and then through all different sort of trickery that I kind of know. Seriously, go watch Silent's video. It is very well explained. And yeah, so I'll show you at the moment. I've added on these little spots here so that you can see nothing from here is being put off into the hoppers to be bone milled, and we've got 3 over here that are just keep being bone milled through and set off back into our system. So that's the only little add-on thing that I've done here, which is something I was seeing if it would be easy enough to do to put back over on the realm. But enough talking, let's set this thing up and yeah, just give it a little bit of a demonstration of it. You can see there, moss is being spread upwards from our source block. Our stone generators are creating stone, shoving it in to create with our floor, and yeah, it's all coming up fairly easy. And the amount of, so you can see there our bone mill, over here, sorry, our bone milling of the source block, which has a piston up there breaking anything that might grow on, and it's all being collected up and fed straight down into here at fairly, you know, incredible speeds because of the unloading systems that we've got running here. Yeah, and this thing keeps us pretty well stocked in bone meal to keep it going. And I think that it's loud, it's a bit confusing, but these 2 farms are going to be perfect over at Foxwood. So, without sort of delaying it a bit more, let's head back over and let's try and get the work on these, hey? All right, I'll catch you back over on the realm. All right, so now that we're back on the realm, we've sort of had a look at these 2 machines that we're going to be trying to build up, and yeah, they're going to be needing a fair bit of resources, but luckily we have a fair bit of spruce wood still hanging around from when we deforest this area. We've got a lot of redstone from our witch farm and our iron. Well, you know how I stand on that. So yeah, so we should have everything pretty well to go and get it all built up today. I'm going to start off over here and build up the warped stem farm. And it has actually just started raining outside, so I don't know if that'll be picked up. And then we've got over here where we're going to be building our moss one, which, as you can see, we definitely need this big space. Now, one thing that I didn't test when I cleared out this whole room was you might have seen that there was a sunflower there, which I used to get directions. I haven't gotten the direction to make sure I dug this hole in the right spot. So we're going to make it work. But I don't think I can build these things and record my voice talking at the same time because I will just get so confused. So what I think I'm going to try and do is camera account, he's not, this isn't Java, so he won't go through blocks and he can't just sort of stand there out of the way. So let's try and let's just do a building montage. What do you reckon? Sort of show you through some of the steps as going. No audio here in my voice. Maybe even, you know, any mishaps that might occur, but I think that might be the best way to tackle these two machines, and then we can bring it back in and do all the decorating and get this storage system up and running. So let's kick off a building montage. Alright, so we are now back from that little building montage. It wasn't really too long. I mean, it took me half an hour to build this farm up, and about an hour to build this one, which, that's not too bad. I'm quite happy with how well and quick I was able to get it. I mean, I did sort of pre-build this in a creative test world that kind of helped. But, I think these came up really, really well. So let's just quickly put in some bone meal in these systems. As you can see, my inventory is still full of junk. So here we've got our bone meal in for this one. And then if we turn it on, get close enough, you can see that it's working away without any hiccups, and I just love it. We don't need to go in and manually pick up all of the stuff. It's all about words. It's self-flushing into our little chests down here. So if we give it a minute, let it do its thing, and as we can see now, it all flushes itself down, and they work their way into our chests, which are actually starting to get a bit backed up. And considering we only really want the warped fungus, so all of this stuff is going to go into bone meal, which will be then fed back into this chest, which is something we'll talk about in a minute. So we've got this one off running around now. Let's grab ourselves some more bone meal. And let's go and show off this one down here, which, oh, no. You stay away from all that. No, why is it lagging? I know why it's lagging, but all right. So over here is our input chest for our bone meal. So let's just chuck all this in here. No. Come back, pickaxe. All right. And while we're here, let's chuck down some torches because, really, is that all the torches I got? Yep. All right. So this one is a little bit more awkward to get to. I've actually got to come up and come around to the back side of it to be able to turn it on, which is just up here. If I go a few up higher, that's too high. You can see that, you know, it very quickly creates this moss and all of the other sort of stuff, the flowering azaleas, the carpets and all that sort of thing. And then we head on back down. We've got, well, as you can see by all the particles, that's where it's being bone mealed. And we've got these unloading systems here from the minecart unloaders, and it's all just feeding straight down into these chests. And again, I'm really happy with how this farm's turned out. It's looking like it could be a little bit over efficient. So yeah. But now what we've got to do is work out how we're going to do our storage, because, you know, this isn't going to last long at all. So what I'm thinking of doing is having everything being drifted off over to here, where we have our own sort of item sorting system. And that way, with it all being sorted out, we can easily have things in different categories. And then from there, we might set up some more of the hopper minecart unloaders to travel from down here up into our storage where we were wanting it up in the sort of circle room of the cave. Now, what I was also thinking we could do is run sort of two, if I just break down here so you can see a bit better. So I want to try and set up two hopper lines. So one under this chest will go out to a bone meal sort of setup, and one will go out to the sort of storage area. So that way, half of our stuff is being bone mealed to go back into the system and keep feeding it, where the other half, which is probably going to be plenty, will be going off into our storage system. So let me now work on just building up the standard storage, sort of item storage here, and then I'll bring it back in when we're going to do the hopper minecarts system that brings it up to the bigger area. Now I'm going to have to quickly go off and collect up more sand to get some more glass, and need to make a few more hoppers. But yeah, so when I bring you back, we should have a item sorter over here and basic storage up at the top, waiting for us to install our sort of hopper cart to transport our items. Alright, so let me get working on that, and I'll see you shortly. Alright, so it is now the next day since that last clip was recorded, and I have actually built up a few sorting systems and storage down there, but I've changed the plan. So, you know, the whole having things coming up from those areas into another little storage area, I don't think I'm going to do that. That's probably going to be best to sort of show you what I mean. But before we head on down there, let's try our luck again with some axolotl. There's one for you and one for you. Really got to get some more colours in here. Hey, our pond is starting to come alive. How's it going, buddy?
Don't trust the Never King. He's crazy.
Yeah, we're just deeply... Alright. Good talk, mate. I feel like he was telling me the secret to something and I just didn't hear it. Alright, let's go and check out what I have done. Put in our water buckets away. And head back into our little cave. Alright, now that we're here in our cave, you can see that behind me I haven't done anything towards sort of storage for it. You can see that there are a few chests over here, and that area still kind of looks untouched. So let me explain what's going on. So first off, let's look at the big monster. Yeah, so I've put in there item sorting system for everything that we're wanting. So, and mind you, after I finished getting the systems in, I ran both of these for half an hour, and then I came back and had to wait an hour for the system to finish unloading everything. So that might be a bit slower at unloading than it is, stocking up. But we managed to get ourselves 1, 2, 3, almost 3.5, actually. Yeah, probably close to 3.5 double chests of moss. We got half a double chest of the moss carpets. We got some of the normal azaleas, the flowering azaleas, and anything that gets skipped from all of this. We're just bone mealing it because we've got a few farms that are going to be needing it now. And, well, I have set up this storage down here, so let me explain it all. Here we have the hopper line. As I was saying, we wanted to have the 2 underneath the chest, and this one is running through into our dropper here, which just has a comparator clock feeding down and powering this block. So the comparator here, if I just drop a carrot in, goes through, says, oh, there's an item in here, which flashes through to this, powering this, sending it in. We've got our comparator here on a subtract mode, so that way the pulse gets a little bit weaker each time it starts pulsing, which powers this block, which shoots it off into our water elevator, which is then just our standard item storage system, which I've shown quite a few times. Now, I have only just sort of recently learned how to do this method. Otherwise, I was setting up sticky pistons and comparator and observers, and this is just so much easier. And this is pretty much anywhere that there's a bobble elevator now, it's just this circuit running into it from a hopper line. So we now go down and look, we've got another hopper line under each chest that runs into some composters, which are then getting fed into this dropper here, which has the same sort of comparator clock. However, though, we've run up a bit of redstone into this block, which I don't want to break it because we've got a sort of thing working. But on this block here, there is a redstone torch, which is powering this block, which is powering this redstone dust. And when everything pulses, it all just goes tick, 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 shoots it all up. And if I can climb out of my hole, sends it off into this chest up here, which then gets, as you can see, we've got our dropper here onto the chest, which is feeding it, and then our chest goes straight into the hoppers. And break this one bit of obsidian, you can see that we have already started to collect a backlog of bone meal for this machine, and we only ran it for about half an hour, so I'm really happy with this. But moving all of these items up there, I don't think that's going to work. So what we're going to have to do now is I'm going to sort of drop the floor a little bit and make it a bit more of a cleaner room, just so that we can sort of have all this sort of not looking nice, because we're going to have to come down here every now and then for our storage. And I'm thinking of just a bubble elevator up and down here. So with that said, I decided I wasn't going to bring up any of the storage from here onto this back wall here. This is my AFK spot. And as we said, we only wanted the warped fungus from this farm. So I put in the storage for our warped fungus. And now this room, for something that was supposed to be the smaller one out of the two, it looks the most a mess and needs a lot of love. Like, for example, we've got to really try and jump around here to be able to turn it on, but it's very similar to its layout on the other side. I've just done a little bit different. So if we come down here, you can see that we've still got our input chest where all our collections coming through. This is all sat on top of hoppers, which run all the way down. Let me sneak preview there. All the way around up to here, underneath that one there, and goes on. Then we've got some item filters here to collect any sort of the warped ones that we want, bringing them down and again into our our dropper, which is shooting them up into a bobble elevator. Yes, so then it comes up to our elevator, drops off and into these hoppers. And then we have our other one, which wraps the line straight back up into here, into another one, feeding it into these composters, which then feed straight back into the machine. Alright, let me quickly eat some carrots because my health from running around is getting quite low, and then I'll explain the next stage. So, back in a sec. Alright, with my hunger now recomplete, let's talk about this wall because it's going to be the easiest and I'm not changing it. I'm going to have my 2 tall flower farm here, and then over here you can see we've set up some chests, which is sort of giving me a marking of where I want my storage to go for this farm, which is a fox powered sweet berry farm, which is very, very easy. All we're going to do is fill up this layer here with dirt or grass, place berry bushes on top, have our rail waste sort of here with hopper minecarts running underneath these blocks, picking up all the items, dropping them into hoppers straight into this. So these 2 farms are going to be incredibly easy, except for maybe trying to get some foxes in there. So let me sort of clear up these rooms. I'm thinking I'm just going to fill this with like warped stem or something like that for here to decorate there. And in this one I'm thinking more of maybe the bone blocks or a bit more of a purer colour for this area. But that's a little bit of the update, and yeah, time to get a bit more work done, and then I'll bring you back in when we're collecting up foxes. Alright, so a bit of time's passed now, and I have installed our last 2 farms. We've got our 2 tall flower farm, and we've got the setup for our sweet berry farm without the foxes. Now, as you can kind of see behind me, that little entrance there, that doesn't look decorated. And the rest of the area really isn't yet, because well, I've started doing a bit of editing and seen that this process has taken me quite some time. So I'm going to do the decorations and all that sort of stuff off camera. But for now, let's go and have a little bit of a look at what I've done. Alright, let's head in. And we can see that we have over here set up our glass box for our sweet berry bushes. We've now just got to trap a fox in here, maybe 2, so they've got a friend, and they just get to live their life eating berries. And every time they eat a berry, 1 drops. And underneath here we've got some hopper, I can break this here. We've got a hopper minecart, which is just running underneath everything and collecting all of the berries that will drop. I've got these blocks in here just so it's going to be easier when we try and capture our fox. Now I've also set up our 2 tall flower farm with a on-off switch just over here. As you see, works away. Sort of setting up this, all it is a dispenser shooting off at these 2 tall flowers, which are on a grass block which has a hopper minecart glitched into it, and then it's just going straight into the hoppers. I've left this opening here so we can go through. Up here's where I'm feeding in the bone meal, and then we've just got some hopper lines going straight into the back of it to where we've got these 2 lines here which run off of this one little hopper clock, which just has an item going backwards and forwards, getting picked up and sending off this signal. Now this line here is just coming in from our switch, powers this block, which stops the clock. So this was by far our easiest farm to do, and then this one, it all really depends on how the foxes are going to be. Now what I've also done is I've included an on-off switch for these farms, because it's still a mess and it's a pain to get to. So now it's more convenient, and I've installed some barrels because, well, oh wow, we've collected up a few already here, but yeah, to be honest, I don't think I need to run this farm anymore. I've got almost all I need. Let's turn this one off though. And then we've also set up over here our on-off switch for the moss farm, which is we can just jump down here. Just a nice powered line. Runs from over there. The switch is on top of that stone block, powering everything, which then inverts this redstone torch, turning on everything. And now, as you can see there, we've got moss swimming straight over the top of our collection system for moss, because it's also full. So yeah, in the time of, you know, editing all of these footage from the last two, we've managed to collect probably all that we're actually going to need from this farm. So that is good. It means we're never going to run out, and if I've got an excuse for it, it means I broke the farm somehow and I didn't want to fix it. But, you know, that's another day's problem. So all that we've got left here is to do the decoration. Wow, that's a real bad word, man. Decorating the whole area around here, which I'm going to do off camera between the two episodes. So let's collect ourselves 2 foxes, get them down here, and then end the episode. So let's head back up to the surface. Alright, so as you can see here, we have a fox that has magically trapped himself in one of our boats that we keep leaving lying around. So he's made our job quite easy for us. But it is about to be night time, so let's sleep so we don't have to worry about any mobs, and then let's get this guy over to the berry farm. What do you reckon, mate? You want to eat berries for the rest of your life? I think he's thinking about it. Alright, let's sleep and then move this guy on. So now that I've attached him to the lead, you guys have seen me move mobs like this plenty of times recently. I'm just going to get him down there and then find him a friend. And then let's have the real fun start of actually trying to get him in the box like I want. Alright, I'll bring you back when we're up to there. We did it! We got the 2 foxes! Alright, let's quickly breed these guys up. Get the love hearts. Now, I'm pretty sure you have to be in the same boat, so let me just knock that into a jump. Okay. And now we go back. Now let's see if our idea for the child. Actually, it's kind of cute. Hello. Will you follow me? Will you follow me up here? Okay, you will. Alright, so let's break this boat. Oh, parents gonna be skittish. No, don't go into the farm. I don't know if I can help you if you go into the farm. That was my fault. Oh, buddy, don't sleep in the farm, please. Please. Please come out. Oh, look, see, they're already picking them up. And wait a minute, there should be 2 kids in there. Where? Hello? I'm losing my mind. Been working on this project for so long now. Let's seal it up by, well, removing these. And let's checking. Oh, there's our lead. We've already got 4 in there, 4 in there, 2 there, and 2. Oh, look at this. Look how quick this farm's going for us. Ah, beautiful. That has been a successful mission. Even though it was a bit of a hassle trying to wrangle up some foxes in there. But, you know, it wasn't too bad, actually, to think of it. They're going to be loudly chewing in my ear when I'm AFK here, I can just tell now. But, as I've said, I will, between episodes, finish decorating all of this area and be able to show it off for you next episode. But I hope you have enjoyed watching up the, you know, building of these 2 farms, or 4 farms actually today. And if you are wanting to build either the mycelium sort of warped fungus farm or the moss farm, I'll be leaving the tutorials in the description. And remember, that was from Silent Whisperer. So, until next time, bye! I found the missing child. It was in there. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!